Hey everybody, it's Caine here again, and I'm bringing you a new horror movie. I actually thought it was a slasher movie, but I was kind of wrong. I did not look good enough at the subgenres. It's a drama, horror, thriller. But before I start, like if you like the damn video and subscribe. It's free, so no worries there. Um, it's The Hands from 1981. It gets a 5.5 on IMDb. It gets a 5 from me, although it's not my cup of tea. It's directed by Oliver Stone, so really, Oliver Stone, a great director. He made great movies, and well, I'm thinking about a few. With a couple that does that killing spree there. Woody Harrelson, I guess it's Woody Harrelson and somebody. Anyhow, it's a a prolific director. He made this movie. You've got Bruce McGill as Brian, the psych teacher. You've got Michael Caine. He's our main guy in the movie, called John Lansdale, a cartoonist, yeah. Um, and then his wife Anna and his daughter Lizzie, and then you got a woman called Stella Roach, and basically what I put there is the slut. So, but basically the wife is a slut too. So it's like I said, it's a drama horror thriller movie, but in my opinion, it's more of a drama, more so, and a psychological thriller or horror movie if you want to, because there are a few horrifying scenes in there that makes it horror. But and especially if you believe the what they want you to believe until the end of the movie. So I'm gonna spoil it, okay? So this guy, John Lansdale, played by Michael Caine, has bad luck all the way through. He's constantly bickering with his wife, but he loves his daughter, and she wants to get a timeout, but a timeout in this way. So they're in the car arguing, being angry with each other, and what is happening is she wants to go to New York to this loft, and he has to stay with Lizzie in Vermont, bringing home. She doesn't work. Him bringing home. That's what I gathered. Bringing home the dollars to support Lizzie, but support the house and support her in her lavish lifestyle in New York, because she's into this spiritual yoga shit. So yeah, okay. So and at some point he does not want to do that, and she starts to drive erratically, and she wants to pass a car that surpassed them and drove in front of them, and now she wants to pass that car again, but it's right in front of that car is a truck with hay bales, and there's just a turn right beyond. There's right beyond the corner. There's a turn. That's the most dangerous thing you can do, is pass cars, like two cars, and doing that when there's a turn coming ahead. So you don't know what's coming from behind the turn. Of course, what comes behind the turn is another car, and then John is trying to signal the other car to back down so they can merge in, and by doing something, I don't know how it happens because the truck was under blood. You see the hand flopping off. She drifts off, and so it's her fault that he loses his hand too. So he's there, you hear him screaming, but you don't see the carnage. You do see the hand getting off between the cars, but you see the carnage when you see his face. He's covered in blood, his body's covered in blood. You see the squirting out of the stump, and he's like, he's really selling it, you know. He's really selling it, and then she's trying to put a tourniquet on it. She's covered in blood. It's a really bloody scene. That's horror, right? Now, then he's trying to keep an open mind. Now she's like, at this moment, she's like a little bit. She's putting the time out, the break on you know, on a back seat, you know, to bring it up at the right time again. She's kind of nursing him, and she also feels guilty because he can't draw anymore. His 10-year character, the horror cartoons that he made, his character, something like, he looked like a what's that character? Schwarzenegger did that movie with the sword, and not Hercules, but Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, he looked like that character. Now his manager wants to bring in a ghostwriter so he can give the notes, because this ghostwriter is pretty art gifted too. Now this ghostwriter immediately fucks him and just revives characters that he killed off in his comic book, does things with the character that he does not want that to go there, and he meets up with this cartoonist, and then of course his manager, and the manager says, but the publishers like it, and then she's like, but she doesn't want to hurt the feelings of John, but then the cartoonist is being an asshole, this fucking guy who thinks he can do it, you know. He's the younger guy. He's fucking up his 10-year written character. I mean, eventually they see the drawings and it's being all scribbled up. He doesn't know a thing. Michael Caine's character, John, and he thinks Lizzie did it because she didn't like the comics too, and he stepped off and he just stopped he said, fuck you, do whatever you want with it. Then meanwhile, when he walks away, there's this bum who also lost a hand, and he wants to see his hand for some reason. I want to see your hand. I want to see your hand. Give me your hand. I want to see your stump. And he said, leave me alone, you fucking bum. Leave me alone. So he's angry. And then we see this almost black and white, and we see this hand going up to him and strangling him. So the hand, because they searched for his hand so they could sew it back on time, but they never found it. He went back to search for it, and he found this ring that was on the hand, this sort of recommendation ring of cartoonists, you know. There's also a moment when he puts the ring in a cupboard, and the day after it's gone, and he's and he's taking that gig in California to teach because that's the only thing he can do. So he goes to California. Now, of course, the wife, Anna, is taking. He's taking this opportunity to bring up the timeout. You know, she calls him. She gives the daughter, and then she says, "It's the perfect time for our timeout, don't you think?" There's also a moment when before he leaves that he sees his wife crying with this guy in this gym clothes and this kind of spiritual fitness dude, and it's weird, and he asks, why are you crying? And I can't tell you that's spiritual things. I can't tell you that. So okay, and then he's going to California in this decrepit old. So the university gives him this decrepit old. It's beautiful in a beautiful location in forests, but this decrepit old shack. And Brian Micheal, one of the teachers, is escorting him to the shack. They all have these shacks. Brian McGill, from which movie? I'll put a picture on how it looks today, so you'll recognize him from a lot of movies. Really, usually plays this the bad guy or a rich bad guy. Yeah. Now, when he's there, his students don't give a shit. It's not like a high university. It's this university for older people too, a community college basically. And nobody knows. He's asking, "What's your favorite comic strip?" And he says, "I don't know." The other guy, "Which is yours?" "I don't know." And everybody's like sitting there. "I don't know." Okay, so why are you following this fucking class? And you see him being burned out because nobody cares, and he graded everybody's books, and there's one girl that laughs at him, and that girl comes to his house. She asks for a beer. She gives the book back. "What do you think? Can I be a cartoonist?" He says, "Maybe, yeah." And then she says, "Okay, there's always this guy flirting with me, but I knows he can't get me. He doesn't even look at my ass." She takes off her sweater, boobs naked. "I'm old fashioned. Let's go to the bed." And then he's fucking her, and he says, "No, no, no, leave the hand on. I like it's kinky." And then he's gently having sex with her, and then she's, "Go, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Come on, that hand, give it to me." She's kinky, okay? Day after she comes back, then she rides him like a pony. Woo! Woo! Okay, so there you go. Now she gets a gift from him. This it's almost Christmas, but it's last night. She can come there because she can be there. Come, come there. Sorry, joke, JK. Because his wife and his kid is coming the day after to have Christmas with him. Now they're on a break, so basically they're thinking like it's like Ross and Rachel in Friends. We were on a break, so all bets are off. You all in cards. You can fuck how many chicks, how many guys you want. And let's say Anna did her fair share as well. So now Stella, the slut, apparently says he gives her the underwear, and she starts to cry. He doesn't know why, but she says, "I'm probably going to Los Angeles with some friends." Yeah, that's it. And then he says, "Can you come tonight for one last visit?" She says, "Yeah, but after my job." She works in a supermarket, a cashier. And then he goes to the bar to meet up with Brian. And Brian's saying, "Oh man, I'm gonna go to Los Angeles in this dirty motel. I'm gonna do so much shrooms that my head's gonna be one big ass shroom. And my dick's gonna be full of shrooms. I'm gonna fuck this skank called Stella Roach. She's in your class. You should know her." "What?" And he's looking like completely in awe because he sort of became infatuated with her because he got love from her he never got from Anna for months on. And now he learns that she's basically a walking hole. So he goes to a motel. He doesn't want to see her, but Stella goes to the house and she gets strangled by the hand and gets killed. Now the day after he goes in, he does not know if Stella is still there. He wants to see the present with the, his wife finds the present with the sexy lingerie, and but the Stella is the car is gone, and she says, "Do you buy this for me?" "Yes, because I think it looks good on you. Yeah, it's nice and all, but why? Because, you know, you're my wife. We fuck. Of course, this is the perfect time to break the news that she wants to go to San Francisco this time with Lizzie, with that guy. I think his name was Jason, that coach. She's been fucking him as well. And she wants to go to San Francisco and take Lizzie. And it says, on what kind of money? Oh, I'm gonna take a job. Jason's gonna start a company there, a wellness company, and I'm gonna take a job. And I love him, and he understands me. And he says, "You're not taking Lizzie from me." Yeah, because ask Lizzie. She wants to come. She loves Jason. And he asks her, "I want to go with Jason. He's my good dad." And there were the thing is in this movie what I was so frustrating. Lizzie loved her dad John, the real dad, and she apparently manipulated Anna in those 2 months she was alone with Lizzie, with Jason, staying regularly at her house, sleeping at her house, making her the co-dad, and she was basically just manipulating this 11-year-old girl into believing he's better because he's nice, he has a cool job, your dad is depressed, he's living in this dirty cabin in the woods, he's doing a no good job. So I did not like Anna. She's just like, I'm gonna take Lizzie with whatever you. I mean that just it, oh it just that doesn't work that way. Like, I'm just gonna take your daughter away from you and bye bye. Have a good life. That doesn't work. You have to go to court, right? To equal parentship, not just brainwashing your fucking child into this cult where she's gonna go into. And he eventually goes to the bar. He meets with Brian. Brian says, "Oh, she copped on me, Stella. I had such good plans. I want to get fucked, shroomed out of my head, you know." And then he finds out. He chases. When um, John leaves the bar, he goes after John and he says, "Did you fuck her? Did you fuck her?" He said, "Yes, but only before. That was before I knew you were going to take her to Los Angeles." And I was kind of angry, and I was going to this. I checked in Reno in this motel. You can check it out. But you have these blackouts, and I told you about these blackouts because he tells him about these blackouts, because he drew a picture of a hand that he doesn't remember, and a naked woman, that's a hand going to a naked woman, and he said, "I never remember doing this." And he said, "You probably did this with your left hand during a blackout. So is this an indication of rape?" "No, I think murder." And then he says, when he follows him back, he says, "You had a blackout, didn't you? I'm going to call the cops, man." And he's like, "No, please don't. I didn't do anything." And he didn't do anything. So eventually the guy goes in his car. It doesn't work first, and of course, it's coming. He gets choked out, but so hard that he spews blood, like a big spew against his front window, and he's getting, I think it crushed the hand, crushed his jugular. The hand is pretty powerful. Then we see John coming to the house, and he's saying to Anna, "You're never gonna take my daughter away." He gets out. Then we see the hand crawling under her bed, choking her out. Then we see her screaming. John goes to the room. Lizzie's saying, "Don't hurt my mommy. No, 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 darling. Somebody tried to hurt her. There, he's going through the window. The window is open, so he's going behind after the hand, and he says to the daughter, "Call the ambulance, call the police." And she's going to call the police and all that shit. And he's fighting with the hand. He's stabbing the hand. The hand's choking him. He's fighting with the hand, and eventually the police comes because the hand choked him out. Now he's standing there with his hand, his good hand, on his neck, and you can already assume, I already assumed what was happening. You can see it from a mile away that he has these blackouts from that he couldn't cope with the fact that he lost his good hand, his writing hand, his muse, that he couldn't make his cartoons anymore, his horror cartoons, and he had psychological problems, and they said to go to a shrink, but he didn't want to because it cost $10,000s, and we could use that money for other things, and he doesn't believe in that shit, but he should have done that. Now, the thing is that, so what happened is, they opened the truck, and he's like, "There's nothing in there, you piece of shit. There's nothing in there." They open the truck, they see Brian and Stella's body in the truck. And Lizzie's like, "Ah." The mom's still alive, but just barely, but she's gonna make it. And then we see him sitting in a chair. So what happened is, he basically had these blackouts. He killed the bum probably with the fake hand, because it's strong. You can just when he used the fake hand to grab his hand, it almost broke his hand. He crushes glasses with that with ease. He can break wood with ease. It's very strong. So he goes to the bum, rips out his jugular. Does the same with Stella. Does the same with Brian. Now Brian he didn't want to kill. The doctor, the psychiatrist, by the way, is Mrs. Bodelia from Creepshow. If you ever seen the Creepshow, the anthology series that was made by Romero and Stephen King, great anthology, 80s horror series. Love it. Both, I love them both, but the first one is the best one. She plays Bedelia with the "I want my cake" zombie. She's a psychiatrist. Now it looks like they're in a fucking basement, and he's looking at the window, and the window is like this wooden window, like just with wood, like a storm shutters, and you've all these animatronics and Geiger counters and all that shit. He's meant to be in a psych ward. You don't have any orderlies there. If he fucks up, I mean, he's a dangerous man. He can have a blackout and kill her. But the psychiatrist trusts him enough because he loosens the hand, shakes the hand, the fake hand, and he's gripping her, and she's like, and he lets loose. But she's saying, "You gotta embrace love again, this yada 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 yada, but you killed, and you were so, every time you were so in guilt with yourself that you killed someone, that you wanted to cover it up because you couldn't remember, and you felt guilt coming over yourself because you do love people, you're a kind guy, and this and that, but you couldn't cope with the accident, and that enraged you." And then he's crying, and he's saying to the psychiatrist sees the guy kind of goes like this, and he says, "I see the hands. You see the hands? Where? On your neck. On my neck. And what's it gonna do? What does the hand want? It hates you. It wants to kill you." And then she doesn't believe that. Then you see the hand coming up, and she falls back, and a lot of blood squirts out of her head. I don't know how, from a chair. Is that Okay, so the hand pushed pretty hard, pushed her head against the ground. Then he's laughing, takes a strip from his other hand, and he stands up, and the movie ends with him standing up and laughing. Now, like I said, isn't he in a psych ward? Aren't there orderly security? I mean, he's a killer. He killed three fucking people and almost a fourth one, and now he killed the fifth one. Now, I mean, he killed four people now and almost a fifth one. So isn't he? I mean, shouldn't he be in a danger in a max security psych ward? It looked like a basement. It looked like they didn't have the budget to make look like a with all this rubbish furniture and this electronics, a few electronics, and it looked like a fucking basement. Oliver Stone didn't have the fucking budget, that guy, to make this psych ward, with orderlies in white clothes and shit like that. Okay. So the movie ends in this weird way that you don't understand what happened. So he basically, if we have to believe this story, he attacked her and pushed her to the ground and killed her, but you don't see that. You see the hand doing that, and yet making it insecure if he killed those people or not. But he gets these flashbacks that he killed Stella, that he killed Brian, that he was hitting Anna. He came back in her room and started to hit her with his fake hand, and she was bleeding all over the place. So it was him. But they still want to kind of mindfuck you at the end. Listen, this movie, the cons are, it was kind of boring at moments. This isn't the movie that I expected to be. I thought it was going to be a slasher movie. I thought it was going to be a really horrifying movie, and it isn't. It's more of a dramatic movie, a really dramatic movie of a guy who hits rock bottom because this stupid bitch wife of his creates this. Okay, if you have relation problems, take a break, but then creates this, almost does this thing that almost kills them, and he loses his hand because of it, and all the people he knows are trying to fuck him over in any way, shape, or form, and living in this decrepit cabin that almost falls down on him. He lost it all, and it's a really dramatic story. Michael Caine does a great job in acting. All of them do a great job in acting. If you want to see a good acting job, and there is this sense of, is he doing it, or is there, if the hand was real, so a loose hand, then you have a horror movie. Now you got this thriller more, in my opinion, that he's just having these nutcase blackouts that he's killing people, which is, that in the end they still want to keep it ambiguous almost, but it's confirmed. So it's confirmed by the movie that he's killing everybody with a real hand, not with a fake hand. So yeah, that's my conclusion. It's a good acted movie. You get great Michael Caine, Bruce McGill, the Stella Roach girl, the slut. She's just taking her shirt off. She doesn't have a lot of lines except for fuck me. It's like in The Exorcist, when Regan is saying to the priest, fuck me. Or in Scary Movie when the other guy is doing like no, but it's a good movie in terms of acting. So I'm gonna give it a 5. Give it a watch. It's a psychological horror movie. It does get boring if you're not into the psychological horror thriller ride. It's a dramatic movie, very dramatic movie too. It's basically the fall of a great man, and that's actually it. and he becomes crazy because of it. So there you go. See you next time. Don't lose your hand. Okay.